Hi everyone, this is Mr. Zirkle, and this video discusses meat production methods and their impacts on the environment. Meat is a good source of high quality protein. However, when you bite into that delicious cheeseburger, you probably don't think about the huge environmental impact that meat production has, or that meat consumption is the largest factor in the growing ecological footprints of people in affluent nations. Meat production is less efficient than simply growing plants and vegetables. It takes approximately 20 times more land to produce the same amount of calories from meat as from plants. Even some types of meat are produced more efficiently than others. For example, a pound of beef requires 3 times the amount of grain needed to produce a pound of pork. There are two methods of meat production: free-range grazing and CAFOs, or concentrated animal feeding operations. We'll begin by looking at CAFOs, sometimes called feedlots. CAFOs are confined locations where a large number of animals are raised for food. CAFOs are used as a way to quickly get livestock ready for slaughter. When properly managed, they tend to provide a low-cost source of meat, milk, and eggs while producing high yields. However, there are a number of problems that can occur with feedlots. First, they tend to be crowded, and animals are fed grains or feed that aren't as suitable for the livestock as grass. Additionally, with such a large number of animals in a confined space, waste becomes a problem. Depending on the animal, manure production can range between 2,800 tons and 1.6 million tons per year per farm. While farmers can use some of that waste, they can't use anywhere near all of it. Excess production of waste can affect ground and surface water quality and can also be the source of some greenhouse gases such as methane and nitrous oxide. A source of debate about CAFOs is the use of antibiotics. Since the 1940s, antibiotics have been given to farm animals like cows, pigs, and poultry in order to treat infections or prevent illnesses from spreading. Low doses of antibiotics are also added to animal feed to promote growth. This means a greater production of meat or milk in shorter periods of time. These low doses may also reduce animal death rates and improve reproduction. For these reasons, antibiotic use has become widespread in agriculture. In 2011, 80% of all antibiotics sold in the United States were for use in food-producing animals. While there is no evidence that antibiotics in meat is harmful to humans, it can cause an increase in resistant bacteria in animals, and those resistant bacteria can be passed to human beings. The second type of meat production method is free-range grazing. Free-range grazing allows animals to graze on grass during their entire life cycle, either in a pasture or in rangelands. What's the difference between pastures and rangelands, you ask? Well, rangelands are unmanaged by humans, while pastures are managed or fenced in. There are benefits to allowing livestock to graze in pastures and rangelands. First, the livestock tend to be free of antibiotics and other chemicals used in feedlots. Also, organic waste from these animals acts as fertilizer for the land on which they roam. On the downside, free-range grazing requires large amounts of land, and the meat produced is more expensive for consumers. Another major downside is the overgrazing, which occurs when too many animals feed on a particular area of land. Overgrazing causes a loss of vegetation, which leads to soil erosion. In areas where the climate is dry, overgrazing can cause desertification, which is increasingly drier and drier conditions until they become deserts. What can be done to lessen the effects of meat production on the environment? Well, we can produce meat more efficiently by switching from grain-dependent meats like beef and pork to more grain-efficient forms such as poultry and fish. What can you do? Well, simply put, you can eat less meat or no meat. An easy way to do this might be to pick one day a week and choose not to eat meat that day. Alright, well, that's the end of this video. If you have any questions or concerns, please message us. Otherwise, we'll see you soon.